morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Wilmington. I'm Reverend Ellen Contenti, and it is April 12th. It's a beautiful sunny day, so I know a lot of you that are watching online are watching after the fact because you're probably at the beach right now. But thank you, everyone who is joining in the sanctuary. If you can, please join us by standing and singing our opening song with our celebration singers. Actually, let's give them a round of applause.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am sending the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am sending the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
Good morning. My name is Linnea, and I am your platform host today. Is anyone here for the first time? Okay, anyone second or third time? Welcome, we're glad you're here. We have our welcome team. They're wearing yellow badges, and they have an information packet for you if you haven't gotten one already. And they will be in the back of the sanctuary after the service. Please repeat with me our mission statement. Unity Spiritual Center of Wilmington is a vibrant, inclusive spiritual community dedicated to expanding consciousness, inspiring personal transformation, and nurturing love and connection. And our vision statement, united in love, the world celebrates joy, abundance, and harmony. And our statement of truth, there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotence. And our three affirmations. I am a beloved expression of God. I am here for a holy purpose. I am in the right place at the right time, right now. A couple of announcements. We have some ongoing weekly events. Thursday at 2 p.m. is our Course in Miracles. Friday at 10 a.m. we have our WOW book group. And you can join Reverend Ellen for the 5 Principles class the next 3 Thursdays at 6:30 through April 30th. And some upcoming events. Today at 12:30, we have an energy share. Also today is Super Sunday, so enjoy some soup in the fellowship hall after service. And another thing today, busy day, Kirtan. And then next Sunday at 12:30, we have a sacred sharing to get the word out about unity. Visit the eBlast and the community room for more information. And now our daily word. If you'll repeat the affirmation with me. Secure in the presence of God, I am peaceful and strong. I find comfort in knowing I am never alone because God is always with me and within me. Whatever I am called to face, I have inner resources to handle it peacefully. Peace dwells in the silence of my soul. When I feel troubled, I turn within. I breathe deeply and picture a peaceful setting, a trickling stream, the wind gently rustling the leaves, or the soft flicker of candlelight. I let tranquility sink deep into my heart. As I leave the quietness of prayer, I take peace with me. I am ready to face the day. As a peaceful person, I know that peace is my very nature. Harmony is my purpose and my goal. I seek serene people, places, and experiences. My soul feels at home everywhere as the peace of my heart flows outward to bless everyone it touches. And from 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 2, may grace and peace be yours in abundance in the knowledge of God and of Jesus our Lord. And now we're going to take 30 seconds of silence to envision peace throughout the world. Thank you for holding that vision with me. Today I'm also your prayer partner, and so if anyone would like one-on-one prayer, I will be available at the prayer room after service. And you may also write a prayer and put it in our prayer box, and our prayer team will pray over them for 30 days, and then we will send them to Silent Unity in Kansas City, Missouri at Silent Unity, and they will pray over them for another 30 days, 24/7. So please take advantage of that opportunity. Now, I would like to invite up Ellen.
Thanks, Linnea. Let's give Linnea some appreciation. Thank you. I know she's taller than me, but I'm not that. Bring it up just a little bit more. Oh, wow. I love that we are doing that 30 seconds for peace in the world, and that today's daily word is inner peace. What was coming forward for me was, if we're not peaceful ourselves, if we don't feel peaceful, that feeling of inner peace, we can't spread it. And instead, what we're spreading is, and the image that was coming up for me was Pigpen. Does everybody remember Pigpen from Charlie Brown? Like the cloud of smoke. So if we're walking around with turmoil within, we're just spreading that everywhere. So how do we bring ourselves to that feeling of inner peace? So let's do that for our meditation today. So I invite everyone that's watching online and all of you in the sanctuary, take a nice deep breath in. Slowly let it out. Get comfortable in your seat. You can close your eyes or just have a soft focus downward. And just breathe. Breathing peace in, breathing peace out. This beautiful circle of breath in and out. Peace in, peace out. And just let the morning go. You don't have to worry about where you need to be after service. Just be here now. And as I breathe this beautiful breath of air in, filling my lungs, expanding my chest, tickling my nose, I want you to bring to mind an image of what does inner peace look like for you? What does it feel in the body to be completely at peace? Where do you see yourself? What are you doing? And as you breathe in, peace in, peace out. Inner peace is a state of mind. It allows us to be in that chaos and not be affected by it. I can sit and hear the news and still be at peace. I can witness something I disagree with. I can still be at peace. I can make a mistake and I can forgive myself and be at peace. Imagine waking up every morning with that feeling of just peace and calm. Stepping through every action, every moment of your day with that beautiful feeling of peace and calm. Where do you find yourself at peace? Is it sitting outside, maybe listening to the birds, going for a walk on the beach, being with your loved one or your pets, or just sitting quietly by yourself? Breathing in peace. Breathing out peace. I am at peace with myself. Silently repeat that to yourself. And know that wherever you are, you bring yourself to that place. And so, if you are in a space that does not feel peaceful, bring your peace to it. Radiate loving energy, peaceful energy out into the world, to those around you, to any situation that needs love and healing. Bring your peace. And so let's just relish in this beautiful energy, peaceful energy that is so powerful. So let's take one more nice, long, slow, beautiful, deep breath in. Very slowly exhale. I am at peace with myself. And very gently just start to bring your awareness just back to your seat. Feel your body in your chair. Wiggle your fingers. Shake your feet, wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes. Thank you, everyone. Look at these beautiful, peaceful faces. The energy in this room is very peaceful. So with that, I want to invite Megan up to sing for us Songbird. Let's give her a round of applause. She hasn't been here in a while. Thank you.
For you, there'll be no more crying. For you, the sun will be shining. And I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right. To you, I'll give the world. To you, I'll never be cold. And I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right. And the songbirds are singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. And I wish you all the love in the world. But most of all, I wish it from myself. And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. Like never before. Like never before.
That is absolutely one of my favorite songs. Yeah, I'll get to what that's all about in just a moment. As I'm listening to the song, Songbird, and how peaceful that is, my friend Nina and I, who's visiting me, she's out there somewhere. There she is. She was here last year. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause for coming. My friend Nina actually was the one who introduced me to New Thought when I lived in Sarasota when I first met her 30, 40 years ago. I don't remember. It's been a long time. So I'm always grateful for, I recognize I'm here today actually probably because of you. That just came to me as I was sitting. Yeah. So Megan, that was so beautiful, such a beautiful song. And the songbirds keep singing. I always feel so at peace when I'm sitting in my backyard and I'm just listening to the birds. And we have a birdhouse in the back that every morning we see this bluebird go in, and I know that there's little birdies in there, either ready to hatch or maybe they're already hatched, and she's just coming in and feeding them every morning. But oh my God, that is just so peaceful. Wow, so today we are in April, as everybody knows. It's April 12th. I can't believe it's April 12th, right? We say that every week, right? Oh my God, I can't believe it's already whatever date it is, because time just keeps flying by. And so April is renewal month, and I always feel renewed with the birds and, the sun, and it's warm. It's warm in here, isn't it? It's actually warm. But I always feel renewed when it's this time of the year, right? The azaleas, we've had the Azalea Festival, but it's also Grilled Cheese Day. One of the most quintessential comfort foods in the entire world, right? Grilled cheese. And that always renews my soul. So, when someone says, say cheese, what do? We smile, right? Whether we feel like it or not, we smile. So today, I want us to think about changing the phrase or the meaning of say cheese. Instead of it feeling fake, it's faith in action. It's faith in action when we say cheese, because when we smile, right, it's that invitation to feel better. Right? How many of you feel better when you smile? Right? Everyone, we feel better. So that's going to be our new spiritual practice. Smiling. Smiling renews our spirit. Because I feel better. We all look better when we smile. Because we don't want to have what's called the blank resting face. Right? We've heard that expression. And it's just because we're not smiling, not because we're in a bad mood. So our life is better when we say cheese. So here's our affirmation. I say cheese and my life flows with ease. Let's say that together. I say cheese and my life flows with ease. Now, today, we are going to reimagine the grilled cheese sandwich as a metaphor for creating the life that we want. So go with me. I know you're like, I have no idea what she's talking about, but we're going to build our sandwich the way we want to build our lives. So we have to start with a foundation. So the bread, right? The bread is the foundation. Everything needs a foundation, right? Our spiritual principles are our foundation that we build our life on, right? We come here Sundays, we take classes, we read spiritual books. We've all come from other backgrounds as well. We've all had principles that are the foundation that we build our life on. Now, without a foundation, what happens to the sandwich? It doesn't exist, right? It's not a sandwich, right? So the bread keeps everything together, just like our spiritual practices keeps our life together. We need that. So faith is that foundation. But what is faith? It's our beliefs, right? It's our practices. It's what we do every day. It's what we actually believe. Right? Our 5 principles are what we believe. So we have to have a foundation first to create the life that we want. Otherwise, we're like, cheese just floating around the universe. We don't know what to do. Right, just keep going with me, guys. Right? So we have to hold on to something. I know when we kind of feel lost, anybody ever feel lost, like floating around? You don't know what the next step is, right? Something's happened and you're like, I just don't know what to do. I feel kind of lost. And that's when we have to go back to our foundation. That's when we have to go back to the principles that guide our lives. That's when we go back to like our old friends, or we go back to places that we used to live. We go back to what supported us before, the foundation. I mean, you can't build a house without a foundation. I mean, you can, right? You can build it on stilts, I guess, but that is the foundation. Everything literally has a foundation. And once again, in unity, our 5 principles become our foundation. All right, I need to lick my finger to turn the page. So once again, we start with the bread. So we're building our sandwich, we're building our life. We have to have a foundation. Now, I love that I found that image that says, please loaf me. Please loaf me. So the cheese, right? Cheese grommet. Any Wallace and Gromit fans out there? Yeah, there we go. Cheese, that's our inner truth. That's our essence. Good morning. The good stuff, the cheese, the good stuff is already in you. It's already in you. We are born with the good stuff. That's love. That's our core. That's our divine essence. It's who we are. So, principle 2, we've been talking about this last Thursday in the 5 principles class. Principle 2 is all about we are divine expressions of God. We don't have to do anything to be that. We just have to acknowledge that, and we have to live it. But we're born already with all the good stuff inside of us. Now, if we are already the cheese, everybody says, I'm the cheese. Yeah, just say it. I'm the cheese. I'm the head cheese. Well, I know that's stinky cheese, head cheese, right? But we can't be separated from the good stuff, the God stuff. But sometimes we forget that that's who we are. We forget we're the cheese. And it needs to be activated. We need to remember that that's who we are. Now, let me read a couple of passages here. Divine Audacity, which is one of the books I used when I taught the 12 powers, she talks about our spiritual abilities are latent. So although our spiritual abilities are natural to us and we have them, they exist in potential until they're recognized, activated, and developed. So even though we're born with the good stuff, we're born with all of our powers, we forget. And we have to do something, or something happens, and then they're activated. So, if we forget our divine essence and we think, oh, we're just human beings, and we just live from the ego, we forget, oh my goodness, I have everything I need within me. Love, will, strength, power, all of our 12 powers are within us. But we forget. So if we don't have something that activates it, then it's like that cheese is like a lump of clay, and it just stays hardened. Right? It just stays hardened. Now, we think about, well, what can I do to activate this love within me? And if I'm not feeling inner peace, right? If I'm not feeling love, what can we do? Right? How do we remember who we are? Right? Our practices, prayer, meditation. We go listen to someone. We go watch a sunset. We listen to the birds singing. Right? We remember that, oh my God, it's all God. Everything. Everything. Now, smiling is another way that activates that love within us. I want everybody just, again, put a huge smile on your face. And if you're watching online, type in smile, capital letters, while you're smiling. And if you're you can write that down on your notes, too. Everybody has the program. You can write smile on your notes. Because when we say cheese, do we feel better? Yes, everybody say cheese. Cheese. Now, say the word say cheese. Say cheese. Yeah. My girlfriend and I were walking around downtown yesterday at the farmer's market and the fair, right, the Azalea Festival Fair, and you were stopping to take pictures everywhere, and of course, say cheese, say cheese. People are taking pictures everywhere. Say cheese, and right, that activates the smile. Actually, the smile itself activates how you feel. There's a lot of studies around what happens in our face with the muscles physiologically when we smile. And it releases feel-good hormones, which of course we all want. So even when you're in the darkest time, and of course you don't feel like smiling, that's when say cheese feels fake. You know, when those kids, like when the mother says say cheese, and they're like, if you stay that way, if you stay smiling, it organically shifts and becomes a true smile, and we feel better. So all we need to do is say cheese to feel the love. All right. So we got the bread, the foundation. We got the good stuff, the cheese. But it's not quite a grilled cheese sandwich yet, is it? Right? Our life isn't quite where we want it to be yet. So what do we need to do next? So let's take a look. I might have my assistant up there change it because it's not working. There we go. Right, we need the heat. We need life experiences, right? We are divine beings, so having a human experience. Life brings the heat, but love does the melting. Right? Life brings the heat, but love does the melting. Now, we all have heat. Right? What are those challenges that we face? Right? What are those situations and circumstances that feel like life is bringing the heat? Right? Illness, financial problems, heat. It's like, whew, we have stuff. And the question, though, is, are we going to let that crisis help us grow and feel renewed? Or are we going to let it literally melt us, literally burn us up? I mean, a grilled cheese sandwich needs the heat. Otherwise, the cheese doesn't what? Melt, right? If you don't heat up the bread, if you don't put the sandwich on the frying pan, turn the flame up, the cheese won't melt. Now, interestingly enough, we were watching the other night Finding Joe, a film about Joe Campbell and the hero's journey. And the hero's journey is all about, right, you have to go out and you face a challenge, you face a situation, you face the dragon, and you have to, overcome it. You have to slay the dragon. You have to climb the mountain. You have to tunnel through. And then you return back to where you were, transformed. And that's what happens to the cheese. It literally transforms from this cold, icky, like American cheese thing that comes wrapped in the plastic. That's how I make my grilled cheese. And it's like it transforms into this gooey, yummy, wonderful grilled cheese sandwich. So the question I was thinking, though, is, do we have to struggle, though, through the challenge, right? The hero's journey is all about, overcoming that and how difficult it is. And that's what creates the transformation. But do we have to struggle to get through the difficulty? Well, one of the speakers in the movie is Alan Cohen. And I was like, why do I know him? Why do I know his name? Besides the fact that I've used a lot of his quotes in the past. But I remembered I had a book of his on my bookshelf called Why Your Life Sucks. Why Your Life Sucks. And of course I had to buy it because who would not buy a book that says Why Your Life Sucks? And especially if you're, perusing the personal development section of whatever bookstore, you're probably thinking, God, my life sucks and I need to fix it. So this book spoke to me. And basically it's and what you can do about it. So And this was so key for me, because he says, refuse to play the struggle game. But it doesn't mean that you're going to sit around on your duff and wait for someone to hand you a fat check, like he was talking about, success. It means that when you feel a sense of struggle welling up within you, you stop, step back, and ask yourself, is there an easier way I can do this? Am I pushing against something that is something I need to do? So you stop, again, step back. Is the universe giving me a message to approach this from a different angle? And I was like, wow. Because we all go through stuff. We all have something, and many of us have had many things. Again, illness, relationship problems. We move, people come in our lives, people leave our lives. There's things that we go through that literally transform us. The question is, was it a struggle or was it a true transformation? Did you grow from that experience? Did it melt you in a good way, like love does, or did it burn you up like a fire would? So I really love that he talks about, that we don't have to struggle through the transformation. Now, how else does heat transform us, right? It activates who we are, the powers within us, right? Fillmore talks about we all have 12 innate powers, and he ties them to the apostles. But when you think about what do I need to transform from where I am right now to where I want to be, like I am building my life, I'm creating my life. I got the bread, I got the cheese, I got the heat. What do I need to then create the grilled cheese sandwich? I need to tap into my powers. Right? Love is our core, but it's also just one of our 12 powers. We need strength, yes. We need determination. We need will. We need wisdom. Oh, we need zeal. You saw my notes. Actually, zeal is probably my favorite power because zeal is what fires us up, right? It fires us up. But Fillmore also talks about, he says, we fairly sizzle with zeal. And I think about a grilled cheese sandwich sizzling on the fire. Anytime something's on the fire, yeah. So we fairly sizzle with zeal, but we also have to temper it with wisdom. Because otherwise we would just jump at every, shiny new thing. So you have to temper your zeal with wisdom. And, what does that translate to for a grilled cheese sandwich? Well, the wisdom is the butter. Again, go with me. Right? So we have the bread, we have the cheese, we have the fire. Butter is what makes that sandwich cook perfectly. Right? It prevents the sandwich from, burning to a crisp. That frying process, right, is what literally helps it cook and not burn, the butter. And you want to butter both sides of your bread. Butter both sides. And what is the butter? The butter is our daily practices. Right? Our daily practices are the things that makes our life go smoothly. So we want to get up in the morning and meditate. We want to pray. We want to sit outside and listen to the birds. We want to journal. We want to read, our spiritual books. We want to forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we make. We want to laugh. We want to, what? Smile. Because these daily practices is what allows us to get through the challenges and the struggles. Right? So you have the foundation, the principles, but as the fifth principle states, it's no good to know what our principles are if we don't practice them every day. So I may know that there's one power, one presence, that's God. God is everything. I may know that I am a divine expression of God and I'm good. I may know that I can co-create my experience with God and I can pray and affirm what I want. Again, we're building our life. But if it just stays up here, that cheese sandwich is never going to cook. We have to practice it every single day. every single day. So spiritual practice doesn't remove the heat, but it makes you able to handle it beautifully. Right? So what does the 5 principles say about that? And again, when it comes to our daily practices, and especially when things are not good. We're living in very interesting times. And it's kind of hard sometimes to say, oh, everything's good. So, Fillmore says, pronounce every experience good and of God, says Charles Fillmore, and that by that mental attitude, you will call forth only good. What seemed error will disappear, and only the good will remain. This is the law, and nobody can break it. Right? Spiritual laws are not man-written. They are the truth of the universe. So what we declare becomes our truth. So I'm declaring right here and right now, it is warm in this room. I'm seeing everybody doing this. I don't know, maybe somebody could check the AC, but let's declare that everything is good. I'm good, I'm peaceful, I'm calm, life is good. I'm cool, calm, and collected. Let's all say that. I'm cool, calm, and collected. And so it is. Now, let's do a check-in, okay? This is your pop quiz. What is your foundation right now? Be honest with yourself, right? What are you believing right now? What is your foundation? Right? Is it positive? Is it strong or is it weak? Do you need to bring out Tar Heel and bring up your foundation and seal the cracks, right? So what is your foundation? Ask yourself too, are you connected to your inner cheese? Say cheese grommet, right? Do you know that the good stuff is already in you? Do you really know that every day? I'll be honest, I don't know that every day. I have to be reminded every day. I have to activate that every day to remind myself, yes, it's already there. It's good. I am not ever separated from the goodness, from the godness. Here's another really important question. What heat am I resisting? What are you being called to do that you're like, right? What challenge might be right in front of you and you're like, maybe it's an opportunity, but you're scared. So what heat are you resisting that is going to literally transform your life? Not through a struggle, right? We don't have to struggle. Here's another one. What practice do I need? What butter do I need every day that's missing from my daily practice? Right? When was the last time, you meditated regularly? I finally got back to my daily calm. I'm like, why did I stop doing that? I always feel so much better when I do my daily calm and I meditate. Right? Journaling was one that I've started, stopped. That might be the one I bring back. So what is your butter, right, that you need every single day to glide over your life and make things smooth? And here's the last one. How are you expressing your own God uniqueness? David, I know you're listening, so you can add a slice of tomato to your cheese sandwich. What about some bacon or some pepper jam or, pickled onions? But if you go to Cheese Smith and you go to their menu, you will see all kinds of grilled cheese sandwiches, not just the plain old bread, butter, cheese. So are you expressing your own God uniqueness? So what have we learned today? What's our lesson? Well, we know that our spiritual principles are the foundation, that is what we build our lives on. Whatever your principles are, whatever you are standing on, that is what you are building from. And if you don't like where you're standing, get off that foundation and build another one. Build another one. Because when we say cheese, that is faith in action. And then we activate all the goodness within us when we say cheese. It activates all our powers. So now, life is going to bring the heat, yes? Right? It's definitely bringing it today. I think the universe is playing a joke on me right now because it is hot in here. The question is, are you going to allow it to transform you, or harden you or burn you up. Because life is always going to bring the heat. We were designed to melt into love. We were designed for good, right? We are designed for joy. Be the reason someone smiles. Be the reason someone feels loved. Be the reason that this planet is peaceful. So I want you to turn to the person next to you and say cheese with a huge smile on your face. Go ahead. It creates this ripple effect, doesn't it? We are spreading the ooey gooey goodness to each other, out the doors, through the computer, the plant, everywhere when we do that. And I tell you, eating a grilled cheese sandwich fills me with joy. So let's finish with a different affirmation. You ready? I am cheesy, gooey, good. And so it is. Thank you. Woo. Is that one on? Now I wish that I'd picked up one of those fans they were handing out yesterday at the street fair. Well, it is that time for affirmative giving. And for those of you that are watching online, you can go to our website, click the donate button. If you do give online already on a regular basis and you just want to put some energy in the baskets, you can grab one of these green cards and drop that in. Today says, I can because I am. Let's say that together. I can because I am. All right, let's do our mudra. Everybody ready? Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is.
I am the heart, I am the hand, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hand, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hand, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. Be a blessing to the world.
I know that these baskets are filled with yummy, gooey goodness of blessings. And I know that they go forth to heal, prosper, and bless. And I am grateful for everyone's generosity. And it's with gratitude and thanksgiving I release my word, knowing it's done. And together we all say, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. All right. Well, I'd like to invite up Megan to sing another beautiful song. Let's give her some appreciation.
Three little birds sat on my window, and they told me I don't need to worry. Summer came like cinnamon, so sweet. Little girls double dutch on the concrete. And baby, sometimes we've got it wrong, but it's alright. The more things seem to change, the more they stay the same. Don't you hesitate, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You go ahead, let your hair down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your hair down. Ooh, you gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow. Blue as the sky, sunburned and lonely, sipping tea in a bar by the roadside. Don't you let those other boys fool you. Gotta love that afro hairdo. And maybe sometimes we feel afraid, but it's alright. The more you stay the same, the more they seem to change. Don't you think it's strange? Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You go ahead, let your hair down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your hair down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow, just more than I can take. Pity for pity's sake, some nights kept me awake. I thought that I was stronger. When you're gonna realize that you don't even have to try any longer. Do what you want to, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You go ahead, let your hair down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your hair down. Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You go ahead, let your hair down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your hair down. Ooh, you're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow.
Wow, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. It's that song sung by Megan. Let's give her another round of appreciation. Woo! I always love coming here. It's like a concert of amazing talent, and I always hate when we have to end. But we're about at that time where we're coming to the end of our service. So let's go ahead and thank those that are our special team today. And I don't see Rich. Hello. It's the heat, folks. It's the heat. It's got to my head. So we are celebrating and honoring our grounds, building team, and gardening. So anybody on that team, if you want to come on up and be celebrated, please do so. Or stand up if you don't want to come up. Come on. There we go. There we go. Yay. Thanks to the team, because we would not have a beautiful garden and sanctuary without them. So Rich provided a message, so I will read it. A special thanks to our garden team who coordinated our Easter Flowers fundraiser, planted some fall and spring flowers, power washed, organized our garage, repaired, installed, touched up painting, and oversaw several outside services. Whew. And he has a whole long list of some other things. I will just pull a few out. Planted flowers. We repaired water spigots. That's important. Trimmed smaller trees. And the team is just constantly working. And also special thanks to Cliff, who recently oversaw repairs and additional painting. So let's give the team another round of applause. And I know the team could always use more support and more help, and so when we do our spring gardening, if you just want to come out and plant for the day, you're always welcome. So let's thank everyone who has put today's service together. So let's give a round of applause to all of our volunteers. Our sacred service teams, again, I believe we always have a handout, sign-up sheet in the fellowship hall if you want to join any of our teams. We would welcome everyone's time and talent. So lastly is our cones. Yes, our cones. So if you see the cones in the very front of the building, that is specially for anybody that needs some assistance. So as all of you know, I'm preaching to the choir here, you know where the parking lot is. But if you're watching us online and you're wondering, where should I park when I come here? Park in our driveway back there, and then use the cones for anyone that needs that support. So with that, I invite everybody to please stand. I think that was the last one. Yes, so I invite you to stand. We'll do the prayer for protection, and then we'll get into our circle for the peace song. So I'm inviting up my celebration singers. All right, ready? The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God holds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right, let's go ahead and make our circle. I get to hold your hand again.
It's good karma.
Ooey gooey goodness. Thank you. All right, we did it. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And carry your inner peace and your ooey gooey cheesy goodness everywhere you go. Say cheese and smile all day, tomorrow, the rest of your life. Love you all. Namaste.
Namaste.